Alrighty, guys, it's time to do I played lots of Lord of the Rings, the card game, the LCG, as they like to say from Fantasy Flight. One of my all-time favorite games of all time. I got it when it first was released, when it first came out. I got one of the first editions with the big threat dials, not these little tiny ones that they come out with nowadays. So I've been around with Lord of the Rings for many years, and I started getting back into it last year. Played some more this year. Viper Dave, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, sir. Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with Viper Dave. So playing a lot of Lord of the Rings this year, and one of the things I always was interested about was these what they call the starter packs. They didn't have these when I first got into Lord of the Rings, the card game, or anything like that. And so you'd have to build your own starter deck yourself and everything. But now they come with these different kinds. They have the elves, they have Gondor, they have the dwarves, and they have the Riders of Rohan. Each of them with a different starting deck, plus up to Atlanta to take care of your mom. Well, okay, let's hope everyone wishes Viper Dave's mom a good recovery. I hope everything's okay with her. Yep. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. If you need me to go check on your apartment or anything like that, I guess. So good luck, and hopefully everything's okay. So back to our story. So I was always intrigued about these, but I always thought, I've got all these cards, I don't really need a starter pack. But I went ahead and bought the starter packs because we're going to be starting some more Lord of the Rings. And I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity if we're going to start a new campaign to use like one of the starter decks or a couple of the starter decks. So we're gonna go and check out what you get in these starter packs. And I'm sorry I keep flashing in the eyes, but that's what happens when you have these things. See, okay, all right. Well, that's good that everything's okay with her. So we're gonna tear off the shrink wrap and we're gonna take a look at what we got here. Alright, so we have the Elves of Lorien starter deck. In the wide world of wood elves, lingering in the twilight of our sun and moon, and they wandered in the green forest that grew tall in lands that are now lost. This is a quote from The Hobbit. The starter pack contains everything you need to play the Sylvan-themed deck from the Lord of the Rings the card game. To play the pre-built deck, take the 53 cards preceding the Halt divider, marked with a star in the lower right corner, then follow the set of instructions to rule reference page 16. There's a complete deck list on the last page of this book for your convenience. The remaining cards after the Halt divider can be used when building your own custom decks. See page 6 of the rule book for customs and the information there. So, comes with, looks like 2 decks, which is nice. Alright. Alright, so you got, I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit closer so I don't need to try and hold it up quite as high. So you can see what comes in this package. And the other thing we're going to do is we'll adjust the brightness down a little bit, because otherwise it'll be too bright. Alright, so we have Celeborn, which is a Sylvan noble. Galadriel, a Noldor noble. We have Hadir of Lorien, hero. Defenders of the Noth. So these are the 3 heroes it comes with. Okay. Then you have Defenders of the Ninth. Defenders of the Ninth? Maybe? Sylvan Warrior. Bump, bump, bump. 3 copies of that card. Galadrium Minstrel. 3 copies of that card. Galadriel's Handmaiden. 3 copies of that card. Gandalf, 2 copies of Gandalf. The Greenwood Archer, 3 copies of that card. Hennemarth Riversong, just 2 copies of that card. Mirkwood Runner, 2 copies of that card. The Nath Guide, 3 copies of that card. Orovin, 2 copies of that card. Sylvan Refugee, 2 copies of that card. Sylvan Tracker, 2 copies of that card. Lembas, 2 copies of that card. Nenya, 3 copies of that card. O Lorien, it's a song. And there's 3 copies of that card. And then Wingfoot, 2 copies of that card. And an event, a test of will, 2 copies of that card. That is still part of the deck. We have not got to the Halt card yet. Not got to the Halt card yet. All right, we have Denron's Ruins. We have 2 copies of that card. Elrond's Council, 2 copies of that card. We have the Frightened Voices, 3 copies of that card. The Tree People, 2 copies of that card. Host of Galadriel, 2 copies of that card. So, that should be your 53 card deck. You need 3 heroes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5, to 6, to 7, to 8, to 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yes, sir. That is your 50 card deck for your heroes again. Let's look at the heroes one more time. Galadriel. This is different artwork than I remember. She is 4 will, 0 attack, 0 defense. She's a Noldar and Noble. Her special ability is Galadriel cannot quest, attack, or defend. Allies you control do not exhaust to commit to quest during the round they enter play. Action. Exhaust Galadriel to choose a player. That player reduces their threat by 1 and draws a card. Limit once per round. She cannot quest, attack, or defend. Allies you control do not exhaust to commit to the quest during the round they enter play. Our second character is the purple. I think that's Lors. I can't remember the exact name. 3 will, 2 attack, 2 defense, 4 hit points. Celeborn, Solvent, and Noble. Response. After a Solvent ally enters play, that ally gets +1 will, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. So, obviously, very good with the Solvent keywords. No, this is not new stuff. No, Viper Dave, this is stuff. They've had these quest packs. This is what this is it's a starter pack. So if you're gonna do adventures and everything, you can, instead of trying to create your own quest pack and everything from scratch, they come out with these different packs. So you want to play the Gondor faction, or you want to play the Dwarves factions, or if you want to play the Rohan faction, or if you want to play the Elves, you can just use these packs to make things a little bit easier and smoother to get into the game. It's all about getting players into playing the game again, because this game has been out for a long time. So that is Celeborn. I don't remember this character either. And then the last character that comes in this pack is ELVES of Lorien. 2 will, 3 attack, 1 defend, 3 hit points, Sullivan, Ranger, and Scout. He is ranged, so that is important keyword. Combat action: if you have not engaged an enemy this round, exhaust ELVES of Lorien to declare him as an attacker and resolve his attack against an enemy not engaged with you. Limit once per round. That's pretty cool. Alright, so that is what you would have out in front of you. You would be playing this and everything's ready to go. But if you wanted to, you could use some of the cards in here to adjust your deck. Take cards out, put these cards in, whatever. So we give you new options. If you don't like the characters, we have a new character for you. We have Elrond. 3 will, 2 attack, 3 defense, 4 hit points. That is pretty strong. 3/2/3? Wow. That is pretty strong. Elrond, Noldor, and Noble. You may spend resources from Elrond's resource pool to pay for lore, will, and combat allies. I forget. Response: after a character is healed by another character effect, heal 1 damage to it. So after a character is healed by another character effect, heal 1 damage to it. Wow, this character seems very, very strong. This hero seems very strong. We have an ally. Let's look at what we have here. So we got 3 copies of Rumel. So this little symbol there means he's can only have 1 of these in play at a time. He's a named character, Rumel. He is a Sullivan and Scout, and you have 3 copies of that card. You have the Galadorn Archer, Sullivan Warrior, 3 copies of that card. Bow of Galadrim. It's an item and a weapon, and you have 3 copies of that card. You have Hands Upon the Bow. It's an event, and you have 3 copies of that card. You have Pursuing the Enemy. Pursuing the Enemy. Return a Sullivan ally you control to your hand and choose a player. Deal 1 damage to each enemy engaged with that player. Wow. So you have 3 copies of that card. Vilva, maybe? Villiers? I'm not sure. It's a ring, it's an artifact, it's an attachment, costs 2 resources. 3 copies of that card as well. Mirkwood Runner, Sullivan Scout. 1 copy of that card. Orphan, 1 copy of that card. Sullivan Refugee, 1 copy of that card. Sullivan Tracker, 1 copy of that card. Lembas, 1 copy of that card. Wingfoot, 1 copy of that card. Donabur's Ruins, 1 copy of that card. Elrond's Council, 1 copy of that card. The Tree People, 1 copy. And Host of Galadrim, 1 copy. So this must be the extra copies to round out, because you can only have 3 maximum in your deck. And sometimes you only want 1 or 2, but maybe you want 3. So they've given you the option to add those cards in back into the deck. So that seems pretty good. Now, if you were going to choose between, like, which one of these 2 heroes would you choose? If you have not engaged an enemy this round, exhaust Haldir of Lorien to declare him as an attacker and resolve his attack against an enemy not engaged with you. Interesting. Okay. So that's what you get in the pack. That's what you have to look forward to if you get the Elves of Lorien. And, yep, that is everything you get. Little reference book. The starter kit. Talks a little bit about how to use these different... because this deck uses 3 different spears, balancing your resources may be a little more challenging than other decks. The Naya attachment can be used to add the lore icon to Galadriel, and this should help her mitigate this challenge. Many of the allied cards in this deck, such as Galadriel's Handmaiden, also have low hit point values, so take care to protect your board from effects that can cause damage multiple characters at once. Some abilities may be more useful later in the game. If you draw an ally like Orphan, consider holding on to him until there is a good target in your discard pile for his return to hand effect. So a little bit of let's read the rest of these while we're doing it. Playing the Wood Elves starter deck. The Wood Elves are inclusive people, preferring to ambush their enemies rather than meet them head on. To play this deck, you want to focus on situational efficiency and grace manipulation. This deck is built around a number of Sylvan allies with one specific time abilities, usually focused on when they enter play, such as Nath's Guide or Galadriel's Minstrel. Then there are combined with effects that allow you to return an ally to your hand. Try to identify the character with abilities that are going to be the most helpful given the circumstance of the game, and then use a return to hand effect from an ability such as the Tree People to gain an extra use of that ability. When you are set up for a handful of Sylvan allies to play, aim to use Host of Galadrim for a powerful and potentially game-winning turn. Alright, and then there's this and more of the stuff we already talked about. Boom, 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 and then your starter list. There you go. That's it. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you would like, we can do the other ones. The Rohan, the Dwarves of Durin, and the Defenders of Gondor. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Until then, my friends, take care of yourselves. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.